What's up guys, Tim, Some Damn Fools. We are going to do a snorkel on a 2020 Honda 420 foot shift. This is Mr. Evan Powell's. Mr. Evan Powell looked me up on Facebook Messenger, hit me up, and decided to see if I wouldn't mind doing a snorkel. And I definitely agreed because I'd love to make a video on it to maybe help you guys out. So, step one, I'm going to take the plastics, the seat off, and the battery cover, and go ahead and pull the airbox and do this thing the right way, guys. So he's brought me all his parts, all the materials and equipment. Y'all excuse the mess in the shop. You know, it's a rundown crap hole, but we make it happen. So get the airbox out. I'll seal that up and I'll show you how I did it. Maybe we'll skip to a short section of it in the process. All right, guys, I've got the airbox out of the bike and the lid off. As you saw, it's a brand new bike, so brand new air filter. So this is the way I like to do it. Now, some of you may say, don't use that, it dries too hard, da-da-da-da-da. Brand new air filter, as long as the bike doesn't get swamped, shouldn't be an issue. This is how I like to seal the airbox lid. Cut the very tip off real close, and then you want to squeeze it down in that ditch to where it starts to just puff out. Now guys, every step of the way, take care and take pride in what you're doing. Make sure you kind of look behind the tube of the caulk so you can see that it's indeed pushing down. Take your time and just go slow, and then you'll work this all the way around the airbox lid. Alright, now these corners I feel like a problem child, so I like to put a little extra heavy in the corners. But you'll see we're going to seal it from the outside too. It'll make it a little difficult getting the airbox lid off down the road if it needs to come to that, but Mr. Evan wants to bring it back if that ever happens. I'll be glad to take it off. And I also told him I would hook him up with my mechanics if he ever needed work down the road on his bike, save him some money, and you know, that way I could always go right behind him and get the snorkel system back right for him. So just take your time. Guys, I know it's probably a little far away, but I'm trying to do a better job than I am making this video. And if it was your bike, you'd want the same thing. So just go slow, watch ahead of it. Get to the corner, go a little heavier. Okay, kitty. And just keep moving on around. And so guys, the next part's going to be a little gross. And some of you like, shit, it's nasty. Well, excuse me, I got to edit that out now, but guys, gross, man. But best way to tool any kind of caulking and silicone, some people are going to say different, so you always want to pay attention. I've done this too many times. Get your clips out of the way, get them good and out of the way. All right, there's your notches and your 90s, so it'll go on like that. Go ahead and stand the airbox up on the bed of the truck. Careful not to touch silicone. Get it in place. Snap it down. Try not to get any silicone on your, or you know, this gasket maker on your airbox like I just did. Like I said, you always want to do as neat a job as you can. Every step of every project. Alright, so you'll see with it on and clamped in place, it indeed pushed out. But you notice something? It doesn't push out along this ridge. Okay, so my goal is to fill that in. And so what I'll do is I know it's gross, but if you did it with a dry finger, it'll stick all the caulk to your finger. And if you use the spit to kind of go ahead of yourself, you can tool it out and make it look nice. Come back with your finger dry. Wipe your excess off. Just looks better, which no one will see it, I know, but you'll know you did the best job that you can. Like I said, it'll pay off in the end by taking your time and taking care to do it. Alright guys, I'm not going to let you make you sit here and listen to me keep spitting on this thing, but I'm going to work it all the way around. I'm going to work the corners, get them good and tightened up, and we'll pick it back up when we've made some notable progress. If it'll show. Battery's low. Alright guys, so here it is all sealed up. Make sure you do not protrude into the boots. If you get a little bit like there, you can always come back with the razor knife once it's dry and cut it off. But I got around the boot of this, all up into that, this right here, and as you can see, the airbox lid is sealed. Now after it dries and cures, I like to take the clips, move them out of the way, just put a little bit behind there, and just to make sure you've dotted your I's and crossed your T's. And again, do not get anything into the ring clamp area. This is going to be key, putting it back in and keeping it watertight. Alright guys, so doing the dielectric grease part. I got the airbox sitting in the house and it's curing. Pull the computer, whatever this damn thing is right here out. Got to get this unclipped from right here. And these are your diodes. Now 420's got 3, where Rubicon has got, and a Foreman I think's got 5. And then these little black diodes down here. So what you'll do is these will come out and come off these clips back here. You'll pull them out. They only go back in one way. This will have the longest wire, this will have the shorter one. So you just pull these out, dielectric grease the plugs that are down in here. This is what it'll look like. And just smear it kind of around in there. Pull this little black diode out. There'll be one under each one of these. So go ahead and that's the dielectric grease part. You also want to do the little fuel injector thing right here, this one right here, and the spark plug boot. Those are the main ones to me. Since the 420 doesn't have that push button shift, it's got the manual. So but yeah guys, that's the dielectric greasing part. Don't forget the spark plug. Alright guys, so it's the next morning. The airbox is indeed set up and cured. So like I said earlier in the video, once it's set, take it one at a time, pull your clips back, try to get the best angle I can. And guys, see, this is why I like to do it with the airbox out. And I just get a little bit, as you can see, it's right there, but I'm just going to put a little more in each one of these. And then it's time to reinstall the airbox, and then I can start running the snorkel pipe. So I'll go ahead and get these sealed up. Just shoot you a little baby bead in there because you don't want it to hold the clip. And this you don't have to wait. Just put your little in, put it back on. I'll do all 4, get the airbox, and the bike will jump back in it. Alright guys, so the airbox is back in. When you go to put it back together, don't forget to put your clamps on there. Have them just as loose as you can, so that way you don't have to try to get the clamp on after the fact. Alright, and then to go in the airbox, I took the factory airbox and just cut the end off past the burrs, because I just wanted to, you know, that to be where the airbox seals. Then I'll seal the pipe, which is 1.5 inches, and I run the ABS. So, and then you got a close piece, you know, I've got a piece that runs in the airbox a few inches, and then I've got a close piece on 3-inch to make up it, or 1.5 inches to make up this 1.5 inches on pressure fittings. I like to use pressure over DWV. We're going to compare these two now. This is a DWV fitting. The makeup is how much pipe goes in hubs. This is the hub, that's the makeup. It's about 3/4 to 1/2 inch. This is pressure. See the makeup? 1.5 inches. The same. It's an 1.5 inch pipe, the makeup's 1.5 inches. So this is just going to be a stronger hold. You get twice as much glue space. And guys, glue your fittings. You'll want to mock it up first. And the 245s, these angles change drastically as you turn them. So you'll have this pipe coming out.
You don't want it hitting the motor. So this has got, I've got almost a finger's clearance behind the pipe. And then you can swing it. As you turn this pipe, it will change the direction drastically of the fitting. So you got to play with it a little bit, but go ahead and just get you a short piece. Don't glue anything. Don't get ahead of yourself. What I want you to do is I want you to go ahead and run the entire snorkel system. And this is not the standpipe. This is just a piece so I can mock this up. Everything's in mock-up. So once I get this where I'm happy with it, then I'm going to take it back apart. I'm going to, because I want to do a really good job for Evan and also show you guys a neater way to do it. Not that anybody's going to see your snorkel, but I know it. I'm seeing it. You guys are seeing it because I'm doing this video. So I might go ahead. He's brought some camouflage flat paint that his 90 will have, and I would like to do that 90 and these two 45s. So he's coming to pick it up today. I'm not rushing by any means. It's a rainy day. I got the day off, and so I'm going to dedicate it to this. But it's run the snorkel time. Once I get it happy where I'm happy, like I said, I'm going to paint his fittings, and then I'll put it in, get everything glued and dried in, and run his standpipe, and then it's time for the vent lines. So hopefully the angle is good and you guys can see this. So I've got the factory piece that I cut off the airbox, so I get that good seal on the out where the boot, hits that piece. And then I've got my piece 1.5 inches. I both glued and then came back with the ultra black gasket maker. Ooh, stomach's growling. This guy's been a little shaky this morning. I've been up since 6, getting out here messing with this thing, and been drinking coffee, and so hadn't had any breakfast. This is definitely going to be your most important connection. So just kind of had everything mocked up sitting there so we can get the video started back. All right, so when you go to glue your fittings, I would recommend primary if you're getting some fittings out of Pop's shop or dragging it out of the backyard, but new. And then just, you take your dauber, wipe it off. You just don't want to make a big mess. You guys see me got rags. This is a brand new bike. So get it on there good. And this is almost going to be a two-parter that I'll glue 2 pieces at the same time. So get your rag out of the way while the glue's still set. Go ahead, wipe your dauber off. Get your next piece ready because you don't have much time with that. All right. Get it hubbed, and then as you turn it, it'll change your angles. So all right, and that's almost good right there. Okay, so make sure your fittings are hubbed and everything's good, and you'll want your fitting just about straight out in this department. And yes, I'm rubbing the paint off, but I'll be able to come back up and touch it up. Okay, so I like it. And then you just let everything sit. Don't put too much stress on your airbox back in there. That's one of the biggest connections. So guys, I'm going to go ahead and run the standpipe, the 90 up to the front, and we'll jump back in. Hey guys, crankcase mod is in. 4 foot of 1/2 inch inside diameter. Heater hose from AutoZone or any your local auto parts store. And then the hose clamps. Goes from the airbox to here. The factory hose is this. And guys, if you look at the inlet, airbox, it's at the bottom. So any mistakes are made, you get water in the oil once it gets to that level. It will have to do 2 complete front flips running, which is impossible. So that's good to go. Project Ajax on YouTube. You guys check him out. He's responsible for this. Big shout out to him. Also to Solid 2 Customs for the way I do my airboxes. I figured that out through him. So snorkel's in, painting the 90.
Everything's good back here. Double check my seals just to make sure it's a brand new bike. So I'm gonna get some touch-up paint, touch that up once the whole project's done. But guys, I'm letting the 90 for the top dry, and vent lines up. So next video should be it wrapped up. Y'all stay tuned. Alright guys, it's in. The crankcase mod is in. The snorkel is set. Touched up the paint right there. Didn't do the best job because put a rag back in there, and you know, didn't want to get overspray on the motor and having the nozzle that close. It's definitely not optimal. But she's ran. Sorry, lighting's not too good. It's a very overcast day. Painted that 90. Got all the vent lines ran up. That is the gas tank vent, the coolant fan, the front diff, the rear diff, and the brake line. So ran them up, and it's raining. And there he is. So yep, the crankcase mod is in. Make sure you keep the hose tucked way away from the exhaust, very sharp. I cut my hands in a few places putting that in. It's a little bit of fun. On your connections, I recommend on the outside, not on the inside, not on the inside of the pipe. Just shoot a little bit of PB Blaster. I use silicone door, garage door lubricant, just to make it slide on just a little easier, because you will indeed fight them. So next thing, guys, I want to do to his pipe before I turn it loose to him, he's on his way here now, is the tilt sensor mod. It'd be very hard to see, but there's a 10mm here, 10mm here, and there's a clip. And then you just take it out, and there's a pie shape. It looks like a pizza with a piece of slice cut out. And that top, there's a dead center, there's a little contact. And if that thing rolls and hits at all, it'll cut the bike off. So that'll be the last step. I'll button up the plastics, get it back, put back together. I want him to see it exposed so he can look over the bike. And once he gets here, maybe we'll do a quick video and let you guys meet him. And I'll show you what the bike looks like put back together. I've also got to wipe all my fingerprints off of this brand new bike. So guys, alright guys, we're here with Evan Powell and his 2020 420, and when I tell you it is spanking new, guys, it is new. Check this out. I've never seen one like this except for in the showroom floor. No miles, 1/10 of a mile from the truck to the shop, 0.2 hours. Ain't that cool? So guys, fires right back up. Turn down 90 mod with a self-tapping screw. Everything on the bike dielectric greased. Step out here in the rain. Like I said, guys, forgive the shithole shop. He got the brand new joints on it too when he got it. Got 90 painted. You guys already seen all that stuff under there. So yeah, and it's done. Everything's done. The crankcase mod, all of it, the turn down 90 mod should be ready to go. Tell them what you paid for it out the door.
The bike?
Hell no, the snorkel job.
Oh, 60 bucks.
60 bucks, guys. I charged him 60 bucks. I got about 10 hours on it, and no, I'm not doing any more. I wanted to do this because I want to do a video, guys, so any of you guys that get these 2020s, whether it be this year, next year, 2 years from now, you could see how it was done. I guess your parts list would be about, I'd say 10 foot of 1.5 ABS, 2 pressure 45s, 2 pressure 90s, and take your time, guys. Look back through the video, and like I said, that connection out of the airbox, that's your most crucial point, and where you get those 2 fittings that'll swing and they'll change the angle. So take your time, do a good job, and in the end, every step of the way absolutely matters, because the end result will only turn out as good as every bit of the effort that you put in it all the way through. All right, man, give everybody a piece. You happy with it? You like it? Cool. All right, guys, well, hopefully this video helped you, and you know, you could get your stuff going, get it in the deep, and have some fun. Well, I mean, ain't nothing responsible about doing this to a four-wheeler, but if done correctly, as you guys see in my videos, you can definitely have some fun with it.
Thanks you guys for watching. If you like what you see, don't forget to like and subscribe.